Oh, hey, everybody. Today is day 2 of the Mom Body Workshop. We're getting my chair settled. Today we are going to be talking about affirmations for weight loss. They're so powerful. And if you haven't read my email yet, we talk about a little don't be afraid. They're not crazy woo-woo. They're just ways to sort of set your heart right so that you can have really good intentions and work towards feeling good. So if you didn't watch yesterday's video, it's definitely not a requirement for today, but I do recommend watching it because we talk about goal setting, and then from the goals we move into affirmations on how to make those things real. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about affirmations, and then I want to give you, I have a giant list. I have 30 beautiful body love affirmations that I want to go through with you, and then I want to give you 5 ways that you can really easily implement these affirmations into your daily life. They don't take a lot of time or stress. They're totally free, and they have a really instant payoff. So let me just quickly make sure we're live in the group. Yes, we are. So I'm not talking to nobody. Give me an emoji if you are there, or a heart, or a hey, I'm here, something. Okay. So I want to just kind of go over what an affirmation is. It's something like a positive, you could also call it a mantra, a positive thing that you say to yourself to get yourself back in alignment so you feel good. So basically, affirmations are there to combat some of the negative or toxic thoughts that we think throughout the day that we might or might not be aware of. And I want you to just think about thoughts in your life and how they can either be toxic, right? Or they can be life-affirming. And I want to just start to guide you in an easy way to choosing life-affirming ways of speaking to yourself that help you aid in your goals and help you just feel better in general, because the point really is to feel good. So the cool thing about thoughts, whether they're toxic or life-affirming, is the fact that you have a choice. And often it doesn't feel like that, but by implementing some of these steps, I want you to understand that you are in control and you have the power to choose your thoughts. So the first key to sort of all of this in understanding it is awareness. So that's why we talked about in the first part of our homework is what are the thoughts that are consistently going through your head that are maybe not serving you, right? I always look at my C-section scar and the what are they called? Stretch marks around there, and that's a place of pain for me. Or looking in the mirror, or maybe it's the things I say, I'm not capable of making good food choices, or I'm lazy, or I'm this, or I'm that. And so when you start to become aware and allow yourself to say, to just sort of have this you're kind of it's almost like out of body, you're watching yourself and watching these thoughts happen, that's when you can start to change them. And it's not necessarily then attacking yourself for having a negative thought oh, you shouldn't think that, or you shouldn't do that. It's just being aware. It's sort of like watching clouds in the sky. You're just sort of watching it pass by, and you're kind of going, that was there. And that awareness then leads to creating new thoughts and affirmations that will just put you on a higher path that will make you feel a little bit better. So, and the other thing I want you to think about as we do these affirmations, and just as you're becoming more and more aware of your thoughts, is that what you focus on multiplies, right? So when you're having a bad day, it gets worse and worse and worse. When you're oh my gosh, I got that parking spot, I'm awesome, I'm totally cruising, and then you lose something and you find it, your life will multiply. Oh, sorry, there's a pop-up on here. Are you guys still there? Okay. Whatever you're thinking will continue to multiply. So what you give attention to grows bigger and bigger and bigger. That's just sort of if you're being super woo-woo, it's kind of the law of attraction, but it's just kind of life and energy and how things are attracted to like things. So the more you think it that way, the more kind of a downward spiral you're going to feel, and vice versa. When you're in this positive vibe, the more and more that those things are going to come true, and you're going to see your world really shift without anything necessarily changing, even if your body isn't changing, right? Okay, so I want to give you quickly 5 ways that you can practice affirmations, and then I'm going to go through this giant list. And then I had one question from yesterday. I wanted to talk about mom guilt. And then if you think of anything as we're doing this, pop your questions in the comment box and I will answer them. So here are 5 ways to practice doing affirmations. So it can be kind of new, and it could be like a new habit or something you add into your day. It doesn't have to take up a lot of time. Or as I'll show you, some of them are just instant things you can do. So the first one, and this is my very favorite, is I wake up a little bit early and it doesn't take me very long, maybe 3 or 5 minutes, to write out a full page of affirmations. Or you could start with writing 5. I love the act of pen to paper when I'm trying to create like what kind of day I want to have are the things that I'm writing down. So I just have this journal I love from Target. It's like nothing special. And I have my pens and I write out 1 full page of affirmations. And it just gets me kind of in the zone. And anytime I'm feeling a little off, I will go back to my journal and either reread them for the day or rewrite them. I also have this up on my little whiteboard here. I have about 20 that I try to reread through my work day, like just to focus on how I want to serve and what I want to do. So writing them down, especially if you're someone who enjoys pen to paper, is really, really helpful. There's something really magical about writing it and how it works with your brain. Number 2 is to say them out loud. So this might be a little more woo-woo, but that's really important and powerful, is to not only write them down or have them in your head, but say the words out loud. One step further, number 3, is to look into the mirror and say them. And this can bring out a lot of fears and anxieties, but I will tell you what, it is the fastest way, to sort of put yourself in a higher vibe state, is to really get honest, look yourself in the eye in the mirror, and tell yourself the things that you're working on in the affirmations. It's really, really powerful. Another one, number 4, is to say them like while you exercise or while you're doing something where you're moving your body, or when there's something that triggers you. So maybe you're out at a restaurant and you are making a choice about your kind of food you're eating, to start saying, maybe an affirmation like, I choose nourishing and healthy foods that make me feel great. You say that affirmation and then you make your menu selection. Something like that. Or, gosh, I can't think of another example, but anything that kind of sets you off or that normally is a place of fear or anxiety for you is to just dig into your affirmation. Think of it and either say it out loud, write it down, say it in your head. And that's what I'm saying about these things being sort of instant. They're sort of like this instant miracle moment where the second you say that, you put yourself in a higher alignment and you start feeling better, and then it informs your choices. Number 5, and this is really cool, and I started doing this with Hazel, is to say them to your children. As moms, and reading the comments today, I'm blown away because so many of us want to have a healthier mindset because we want to have a beautiful influence on the way our kids are born, especially our girls, right? Because they are bombarded with media and all these things of how they should look. And so as moms, we want to do our very best. We're not going to be perfect because we're humans, but we want to do our best to help. Our step A, we have to get healthy first so that we can, healthy on the inside, so that we can teach them and love up on them. But doing affirmations are a great way. There's, I have to think of it, but there's a really cool company that has these affirmation cards for kids. They're tailored for kids, and they have cute, little sweet little bunnies. And I think that's a really powerful thing to start affirming and giving life to your kids through affirmations and saying, maybe they hear you saying them, or maybe you tell them to them. Sometimes when I'm holding Hazel at night, I just say, you are beautiful, you are fun, you are special, you are kind, you are loved, you are brave, those kind of things, so that becomes her truth. That becomes who she is, because that's the words I'm speaking into her. So that's a really powerful thing. And it makes me teary eyed. And it's that time of the month for me. So I'm a little emotional, and I was emotional reading all your posts today, but, anywho, so that's affirmation. So let me do this. I'm going to read these to you. What I don't want you to do is stress or have to write anything down. I'm going to turn this into a PDF that's downloadable for you guys to have and print out or do whatever you want. So I want to just ask you, if you're in a quiet place, close your eyes and get quiet and just listen to these. If it's not quiet, that's okay. That's life. It might not be the perfect atmosphere, but I still want you to do your best to listen. And you can always come back to this video if you just need someone to speak some life into you. So that's what I'm going to do. Let me turn this light down because it's blaring in my eyes. Okay. You ready? Are you guys still there? Give me a heart or something. Okay, here we go. All right. So, number 1. I'm learning to love my body just the way it is. Number 2. I love and respect who I am. I'll just keep reading them. I eat with joy and ease. I choose foods that nourish me and make me feel awesome. I thank you, body, for serving me and for providing a beautiful place to live. You always take such good care of me. I listen to my body and ask her what she needs in this moment. Hear this. My worth is not defined by my weight. I work out because it feels good and gives me energy. I let my body rest and rejuvenate when it needs it. I'm allowed to take up space in this world. I will focus on my journey and my joy and not compare myself to anyone else. I'm cultivating a loving relationship with my body and who I am. I am a confident mom who makes choices that nourish me so that I can serve my family best. My self-care is top priority. Others' opinions of my body are not my business. What I focus on expands. I choose to be aware and stay positive. My metabolism works fast when I'm having fun. I honor my body and what her needs are. My level of satisfaction with my health is only dependent on me. Body, I vow to love and honor you. I am sorry if I have been mean or disrespectful. I love you. Love fills every inch of my skin. I feel love radiating from within me. 5 things I love about my body are: my health and wellness is a gift. I trust the wisdom of my body. I can only go forward. Dwelling on the past does not serve me. Progress is not linear. It's a journey with ups and downs, and all of it is beautiful. I choose health and healing over diets and punishment. Life does not start 10 pounds from now. It is right now. My body is a vessel for awesomeness. It's more fun to feel good about me than it is to feel bad about me. So I hope those just kind of get your wheels turning. I looked up some body love affirmations on Pinterest. There's a ton. They're all over the place, but I want you to find the ones that really make you go, ooh, those are the ones you can do. It doesn't have to be a giant list. It can be 3 maybe, or 1 or 10, however many. And what I want you to recognize when I read those to you is to just be aware of how you're talking to yourself and think of it like this. So our best friend, right? Or our kids, we would never, ever say the things that we say to ourselves in our brain to them because we love them and cherish them and respect them. And so I want you to start thinking of yourself as your best friend or your kid or your grandmother. Like you would never, ever, ever say those things. And just think of yourself as your best friend and be kind and gracious and gentle with yourself. So I want to hear from you guys if there was an affirmation that you love, that you're like, that's my new mantra. I'm taking that with me for life. I want to know. I want to hear in the comments. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about mom guilt because that came up. I do have a whole, it was like a 20-minute video I did on mom guilt. And I hope this is kind of getting answered through some of this training. Is that feeling of, some people said, oh, if I exercise, I start to feel guilty because I'm not with my kids, which is so valid. I did that this morning. Hazel was kind of fussy when she was in there. I had her in her little baby jail and her pen. And sometimes, getting a full workout in or doing something, it doesn't work out the way it's planned, and that's just mom life. But it's continuing to have the mindset of knowing, deep in your soul, knowing that when you take care of yourself, when you're it's not selfish to put your needs first, because when you are feeling good, that radiates to your kiddos. They can feel that. If you're rushed and stressed and hurried and feel fat and feel gross and are mean to yourself and mad at yourself, that energy is going to translate into them. So even if it means taking a little bit of you time or maybe doing the daycare at the gym or having some help to create some healthy habits, like those things are going to have a lasting impact on your family and your kids, even though they're maybe not tangible, like you feel guilty in the moment. The bigger picture, if you could take yourself out, or if you could give advice to someone else, you would always say, yes, you need to feel good in order to give to them. So just keep that in mind when that mom guilt comes, that you're actually helping your kiddos. So if you have not joined the challenge yet, there's still a couple days left to join. I can put the link in the comments, but it's bit.ly/5-day mom bod challenge, and you'll get a little email from me in the morning with homework and a supportive group for you to join. So if you're watching this later, let me know in the comments what your favorite affirmation was, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night.